Hey everybody, we wanted to start off this week's episode talking about a new electronics brand that Morgan and I are obsessed with, and they're called Sudio.
Sudio makes headphones and earbuds that not only have outstanding sound quality, but they also design headphones as an accessory that you'll be excited to wear around.
So true. Morgan and I both got the Black Regent design, which are Sudio's premium on-ear model, and they're so cute.
So cute.
So cute. The combination of high-polished metal and matte surfaces embodies the vision of Scandinavian design. They also come with custom-designed interchangeable caps, so you can change them up whenever you feel like it.
Change it up for your mood. Regent are the perfect companion for anyone on the go. They will connect to any device that has Bluetooth, or you can use an aux cord that they also provide. And they also give you 24 plus hours of battery life.
That's a lot of life.
That's life.
Now, don't get us wrong. These headphones are handy, super chic, and contemporary, but they also deliver some of the best sound quality I've ever heard. They provide impeccable clarity in instrumental tones, well-balanced sound, and definition.
Sudio also has a multitude of earbuds, from hard pairs to those nice soft ones that are great for people like me with little tiny ear holes and they get sore.
I get it. You can get a pair of your own Sudio headphones today, and if you use our offer code TheSistersGrim, you can get 15% off your entire order.
That's right. Use promo code TheSistersGrim. That's TheSistersGrimm. That's right, 2 M's, to get 15% off your very own pair of Sudio headphones or earbuds. Trust us, you won't be disappointed.
The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? Show you.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
We are still alive, don't worry.
Don't worry.
It's only been 1,000 years since our last episode.
Really?
Basically.
It seems that way.
In like
We've done a lot.
We've done like a lot, and we went on vacation. Speaking of our little vacation, we went to Wisconsin, aka the murder capital of the goddamn world. I swear to God.
We were in Door County, which we've done an episode about before.
Yeah, our episode, Door County is weird.
Yeah.
And honestly, Door County is weird.
Door County's weird.
Because while we were in Door County, I found out about some crazy-ass murders that maybe we'll talk about on another episode, IDK. But I also, recently, all of this, crazy drug shit went down in Door County, if you've never been there before, is, the smallest little tiny place in the world. So, anywhoozle, on the way there, we decided to visit motherfucking, the place where, if you
the
follow
location
us
where
on,
Jeffrey Dahmer
the Oxford
apartment was.
Yeah. It was very scary. There was a man
creepy.
who I'm pretty sure had just done heroin, and a yelling woman.
So there was a guy, who was walking down the street, scratching his arms,
and
there was a woman in the middle of the street just yelling. It was weird.
Unintelligibly. It was in a weird neighborhood. We were not familiar, and there was also these bad omens where
it's by Milwaukee University.
No, it's by Marquette.
Marquette, that's right.
And because literally every street to get there was closed off, and Morgan was very stressed out, and to the point of just turning back. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We're so goddamn close." We also went by the Ambassador Hotel, which was where was the site of one of his other murders, which is super weird because it was so close to his apartment. It must have been before.
Yeah. Why would you stay at
Maybe he really liked that neighborhood, and then. So he went there and was like, "Oh, this apartment building's really nice." But it's so weird because even though I've seen pictures and stuff of it, it looked really different than what I was than what I picture in my mind when I read stuff about it.
It felt like when we were, like, standing outside and we were like, so this is the corner where those, like, sex workers were that, like, saw the kid come out.
No. They were just cousins and stuff.
Cousins?
They were just, like, two girls.
Oh, for some reason I thought they were sex workers.
No. No. I mean, like, some of the guys were.
Right.
But, yeah, no. It was scary. And if you follow us on our social media, we posted
shit. Could you imagine having gone there at night? Ugh.
We wouldn't have.
No.
No. We already, like, there's a very if you've ever been to, like, a true crime spot like that before, for me at least, I get just this crazy adrenaline feeling. But it was so different at Jeffrey Dahmer's. And I don't know if it was because it was such a stressful situation or because I was, like, in the middle of a cold
I don't
or
know.
whatever. But I couldn't process it. I had to, like, journal about it.
Yeah. So then we went to Door County, had a great time, and then on our way home, we stopped by
Avery
Road, where Making a Murderer took place.
And I would like to say that it was the only moment in our entire trip where it was raining.
Not our entire trip, but our entire drive. It was literally
that's what I meant.
Because we talked about doing it on our way up, and then we didn't really talk about it again. And then we were driving, and I was like, so should we do it? And pretty much right when I said that, it, like, got cloudy. And then it started raining. Then we got there. It was all, like,
well, we were going to do it, but it was when you asked if we were close is when it started.
And then right when we left, the rain stopped, and it completely cleared up and got sunny.
And there were, like, 15,000 rainbows and a bunch
butterflies.
Oh, yeah. Morgan kept claiming to see butterflies.
Okay, shut up. You saw them. So when we were driving, instead of, you know, when you're driving and then there's, like, birds, like, randomly that, like, come close to your car, it was like that, but with butterflies over and over again.
I mean, there have been moments in my life where I have, like, hit and buttonflies.
Buttonflies, yeah.
Buttonflies. So what this episode is not about is what we just talked about. This episode is about the Saw horror movie franchise.
Yes. Do you want to play a game?
Do you want to listen to our podcast?
You should download and subscribe our podcast.
If you do not subscribe within the next 5 minutes, the device around your dick will blow up your dick. If you don't have a dick, you will grow a dick and it will get blown off.
If you do not hit the subscribe button on your iPhone is going to turn into a death trap that is going to grab you by the face and suck you into the phone.
Your phone is going to turn into Carrie Elwes. So anywho, I rewatched. I think I had seen all of the movies before, but had literally absolutely no concept of what the fuck was happening.
Couple. Right.
So I rewatched every single one of these.
I've watched them all so many times that I just pretty much know it.
If you want to try to make sense of them, the only way to do it, honestly, is watching them all at once.
And we're going to try to explain that to you guys. There's going to be a lot of Saw spoilers in this. If you haven't seen them all, that's fine.
You know what?
But, like, you're not going to get this.
You know what's going to be more interesting than the Saw movies? This podcast. No,
for sure.
No, some of them they're good.
The first 3 are amazing in my
Some of them opinion. Are like when I was watching them, at least at the time. I mean, I don't know. I literally, have forgotten, because, okay, so we were going to record this podcast on the way to Door County while we were driving.
That was our plan.
It was a very poorly conceived idea.
Because I was driving, and I was like, I don't need notes, because I know everything about these stupid movies.
Because Morgan knows everything, because she's, like, the smartest person in the entire fucking world, and it's, like, fucking weird. So, a little piece of trivia I have is that Saw is the 5th most popular, highest-grossing horror movie franchise. Based on, like, inflation.
It's like what started the
It's what started
porn
gore. Torture porn. Yeah.
Or porn gore.
Porn gore.
That porn and, like, Rob Zombie.
Porn gore sounds like a bore gore. No, but, like, and
porn gore would be a cool DJ name.
It'd be cool. DJ Porn Gore. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Rah! So yeah, it behind the number 1 is Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Shout Out was a couple days ago. Depending on when you listened.
When we were at Avery Road, it was Friday the 13th.
Ooh, yeah, it was really scary, and I progressively got worse and sick and gross that day. True. But that's a different story. And then Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Halloween, and then the Hannibal Lecter series, which I honestly don't really ever think of, like, Silence of the Lambs is having so many, sequels, but it does. And all of the movies all together have grossed almost $1 billion. So that's not too fucking shabby.
Yeah.
Abby.
Good for them.
That's not too shabby, Downton Abbey.
So let's talk about Saw, which is obviously the best movie in the series.
It is. Yet, Rotten Tomatoes only gave it a fucking 49.
What?
That is ridiculous. I think
49?
That's crazy.
That movie is so good.
Horror movies do not do well with critics.
Saw,
especially
is what
gory
created
ones.
That, the really fast cuts.
Yeah, those give me a fucking migraine.
So many fast cuts.
They get progressively more like you need to, if you have epilepsy, they need to give you a warning. There's some movie that came out recently that, there's literally, a warning, if you have something, maybe don't watch this goddamn movie.
Well, Saw should be in that. But they did all of those fast cuts because they had so little footage. So that was kind of how they pieced it together, and it totally worked.
And it became a kind of a staple.
It became a big
thing.
Series. And just, people just started doing that a lot.
That's
those, what are those movies with that hot bald guy? Crank. Crank kind of did that too.
Oh my god, dude. Crank. Oh my god, the Crank movies are fucking amazing. They're so funny. They're so just, outlandish. The movie's budget was only $1,200,000. And opening weekend, it made about $18,000. And cumulatively, as of now, it has made almost about $103 million, which is pretty fucking decent. So
it was written by Lee Winnell and
Ty.
No.
Why?
Lee Winnell and I am blanking on the other guy's name. Lee Winnell's the writer, and then the director
is Insidious.
Why did we? Hang on, I feel like a dumb asshole.
I didn't write it down because I thought Morgan would know.
Lee Winnell and
Ashton Kutcher.
Shut up.
What is his goddamn name?
I'll tell you in a second. James Wan.
Doy.
He did so much. He directed, Lee wrote, and also obviously acts in the movie.
Because it was a short film originally.
Yeah, called Saw.
And it was so good that they're like, hey, maybe make a whole movie. And they're like, okay. Done. So some things, the things that Saw is most obviously known for is its traps.
Totally.
And I remember getting such hardcore fucking chills and being terrified at the preview, the Red Band trailer, where he doesn't want us to cut through the chains. He wants us to cut through our feet. I was like, oh, no way. Not gonna do that. Bye. Not even.
But if you're a surgeon, it's really not the worst thing.
No. So, in this movie, there are 7 traps. There's Adam and Dr. Gordon's test. So some of them are traps and some of them are trials.
Are we just going
tests.
through the traps right now?
Well, we don't want to go bit by bit.
Do we want to go trap by trap?
Yeah, let's go trap by trap, baby.
All right.
So, there's Adam and Dr. Gordon's test, which is literally just kind of basically the entire movie.
Yeah, the trap is really just him closing the door at the end.
Kind of. Well, they're supposed
being stuck there forever.
Yeah. Well, because Adam was hired by Danny Glover. Mm-hmm. Because Danny Glover believed that. Oh, well, okay, maybe never. Danny Glover believed that Gordon had something to do with it.
Is that even true?
Yeah, that's why Danny Glover's character, who's Tap, hired Adam as a private investigator to take pictures of Dr. Gordon because he believed that Dr. Gordon had something to do with it.
Right.
So anywhoozle, then there's the wire trap, which is the dude crawling through the barbed wire.
That one's gross.
That one's gross, and I never realized that character comes back. Mm-hmm. And so then there's the flammable jelly.
That is a scary one where you have to find a code in a dark ass room and you're covered in fire and you only have a little candle to find it.
He has grease all over he has some sort of
flammable grease.
Viscous, yeah. And so he died hard.
He burned to a crispy crisp.
Speaking of Die Hard came out today. It's July 15th. Die Hard came out today. Also, the reverse bear trap, aka probably the most popular trap.
That one is so
genius.
Yeah,
it's very smart. It's cool.
Yeah, just think about what that would feel like.
Ow, you wouldn't even know
to have your
and
we do that to animals
to wake up.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Actually, we do regular bear traps, but still ouchies and no thank you.
No.
And that's mean. There's that drill chair, pretty self-explanatory.
Oh yeah, but that one doesn't actually happen because they get him out of it.
I mean, a lot of these don't. There's that quadruple shotgun trap.
That one's cool.
Yeah, and then there's Zepp's test, who is the crazy-ass dude from Lost.
But his isn't a trap.
Well, no, his is a test. So there's tests, like I said, and then there's traps.
Yeah, but...
There's, like, trials and
tribulations.
tribulations.
The first and last aren't traps.
No. Well, technically, Dr. Gordon and Adam have the trap of
they just have to cut their feet off.
Technically, only Dr. Gordon has to ut his foot off because Adam is supposed to have the key in his pocket.
And to be able to get out on his own.
And should be able to get out on his own.
See, that's what I never understood. So, Adam is cool to just leave. Dr. Gordon's the only one who he actually wanted to, like, fuck himself up.
Yeah, because Dr. Gordon was the only one who'd actually done anything wrong.
Well,
Adam didn't really do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. He did his job. He was a private investigator.
Well, he's just a photographer. He's not a private investigator.
No, he was hired as a photographer, to take pictures of Dr. Gordon.
Yeah, but he doesn't do any investigating, really.
I mean, he, gave the picture. I mean, yeah, he basically gave the pictures to
the detective
Danny Glover to do the, But, anywho, so I watched the unrated version, obviously, because that's the one where you can see Carrie Elwes's cut his little footy off.
That part is nuts.
His nuts off?
His, eyes when he's, cutting through his fucking foot.
Oh my god, his body...
And the other guy's just stop!
His screaming is, the same screaming as, the end of the unrated version. It's really fucked up.
Oh, how the movie ends and how the next movie begins.
Oh, yeah. So, it seems like a lot of Jigsaw's traps involve a pin needing to be released in order for a timer to go off.
Yeah.
For instance, the reverse bear trap, and then in the second movie, that, Iron Maiden mask, the scary spiky mask.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like if they had been more chill.
Yeah.
But could they have figured it out? Because there are some traps.
How chill are you going to be when you wake up in a fucking room all tied up with something around your fucking face?
I mean, everybody reacts differently. Everyone reacts differently. Maybe I would be maybe you would go into super survivey skills. You never know until, it happens. And also Jigsaw only makes his traps out of rusty old pieces of metal from the early 1900s.
Pretty much.
Nothing is clean metal.
Yeah, it's all really rusted.
Yeah, and if these traps aren't going to kill you, tetanus and sepsis are.
Yeah, bye. Well, because with the jaw trap one's fucked up because even if it doesn't go off, it's still
fucks up your mouth.
Well, because it gets drilled into your jaw.
You're not walking away from any of these traps
and
unscathed.
The eyeball one.
Yeah, no, ow, thank you.
Oh, that's the second movie, which we have not gotten to.
Well,
yet.
We are right now. Saw 2.
Well, I'm not done with Saw 1.
Okay, well, the first one came out in 2004. And
the first one?
Yes.
Well, I
what
just
are some things you would like to say?
The end of that movie is so crazy when he fucking stands up and it was him the whole time.
I was gonna say,
I was literally 12 when I saw this movie.
Yeah,
when it came out.
That is the first movie. Definitely has the best twist ending.
Holy fuck, bitch!
When you realize that he was alive the whole time,
yeah,
boyoing.
What the actual fuck? Talk
Spoiler
about when
alert.
that's why that's bullshit that they gave it a 48. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes, man.
49, but still, that is or maybe it was 40.
Who cares?
Who even cares? Yeah, it was 49. But I mean, it was such a good movie. It was so different than anything. It's kind of based, I think I'd read somewhere that it's loosely based off of / they got the idea from the movies Cube, from the Cube series, which is sort of similar. It's a movie wherein all of these people get kidnapped and they wake up.
Yeah.
But it's way more sci-fi, because they're literally just in this, giant,
weird dimension,
endless cube thing that were like time and space.
Saw is very like real, even though it's like not. But it like could be.
I didn't ever realize that Saw, the unrated version, and Saw, like the version where they played in theaters, like literally they had to tone the colors down because it was so, and everyone looks jaundiced as fuck. Everyone looks like they are dying of the plague. Mm-hmm. Everybody has...
It's all super oversaturated.
Everyone has diphtheria. Everything is just green.
Oh, we didn't even talk about, like, Monica Potter, Carrie Ill's wife, and, like, with the daughter, that part when the guy's in the closet.
Yes, scary guy from Lost. Fuck him. That part is so scary.
So scary.
Zepp is terrifying. Also, Hello Zepp is the, like... Yeah. Crazy ass like the song that basically plays during all of the like the major ass twists. I put it on a CD and
it should be called the "What the Fuck" song.
Yeah, it's like hello, huh?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called Hello Zepp because that's not even.
They didn't think there. Maybe they didn't think there was going to be any more.
They didn't, which I will get to later. So, is there anything else we have to say about Soul 1?
I would just like to say
watch it with the director's commentary because
oh my god, I've watched it so many times because they're both like cute little Australian dudes and they're just fucking hilarious. It's really funny to watch it because it's like the fucked up movie of Saw with these two Australian guys just like giggling, laughing the whole time.
Because it's such a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
But, like, watching it with I mean, I don't know. These movies are very, very gross and, like, very, like, there's lots of, like squish, gross, like, noises that there were several scenes, because I told you I wasted 13 hours of my life watching all these movies over again.
I've watched them all several times.
I know, but I did it, like, kind of consecutively, and it was, like, I kept having dreams with, like, very poorly thought out Saw traps. It was like, I can't even think of one.
You have to stick your hand in the toaster.
Are you fucking kidding me? I was literally thinking of Eggo waffles in the toaster. Morgan and I have decided that we are like magic, and we're just, we've decided to just celebrate it. We are magic. We think of the same things. We are the twins from fucking Escape from Witch Mountain.
So should we talk about Saw 2?
Yeah, let's do Saw 2. It came out in 2005. It got a 37. It got a budget of $4,000.
So Saw 2... So the story was actually from this guy named Darren Lynn Bousman, who I went to the same film school as, and so I've heard him speak a couple times. And he had actually written this screenplay called, I think, The Desperate.
Oh, yeah, because Saw 2 was supposed to be kind of a different movie completely from the Saw.
Yeah, and so his story, they kind of just, like, were like, can we use your story? And he was like, only if I can direct the movie. And they were like, all right.
Yeah.
And so Lee Winnell and...
Way to Grave Life by the Ovaries.
And James Wan just were, like, executive producers. And I think they still came up with, like, general ideas of the story, but it was mostly Darren.
Well, they're always listed as, like, characters created by.
Yeah.
So, Darren Lynn Bousman directed 2?
Wrote, technically, and directed 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, okay. Those ones, his have the most beautiful scene transitions where it's like...
Really
it's
cool.
Like one room, like someone's walking in one room and then it's like they're walking like outside somewhere really cool.
He does really
all
cool
of them
stuff like
have
that.
really good ones.
And most of them were done like completely practically. Like where people were like literally like running to like get somewhere just to make it look like they were somewhere else.
Yeah, it's really good. And it did fucking amazing opening weekend.
Because people were so amped about it because the first one was so fucking good. And I also feel like the first one did really well DVD wise.
Yeah.
And so that's why the second one was so huge.
And it was, I mean, it did so well. I don't know why. I mean, critics just don't like gory movies.
Who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Suck a dick.
That's why, like, you're never gonna see horror movies win Oscars because people are like, or like boring little nerdy. I mean, to each their own. If you don't want to watch people die, I, like, completely understand.
Well,
but like
we watched one of the Oscar noms while we were on vacation, aka
holy. Three
billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, which was fucking amazing and real fucked up to watch, actually. So,
if you want to, like, have your mouth
dropped open several times. Watch that movie. Let's not talk anymore about it.
No, it's so fucking good. Well, I literally went into it not even knowing it was a thing. I was like, excuse me, what are you talking about? I'm like, Billboard, what are you fucking talking about?
Saw 2.
So Saw 2. It has 9 traps.
Okay.
Like, we talked a little bit about before, the death mask, which is like an Iron Maiden, but for your face.
That one's like, it's like, except that one, I would know how to save myself from that one, because I thought about it.
Ooh, tell me.
So for those of you who maybe haven't seen it, it's basically this guy wakes up and the video starts playing, and it's basically like you have a key in your eye, so you have to use this scalpel to get the key out of your eye to take this thing that's basically around your neck, and it's just like
gonna close up on your face. It's an Iron Maiden, but your head.
Yeah,
it's like the chokey from Matilda.
It's like metal on each end with like pokies, and when it snaps shut, it's like it looks like armor.
The dullest spikes I've ever seen.
But still will go through you.
Yeah, but like,
but if you were... So he had a TV in there. I would have put my head against the TV, so when they slammed shut, they would have slammed on the TV. Which still probably would have, like, hurt you, but, like, maybe less.
I don't know, man. I would have just...
I would have gotten the thing out of my eye.
I don't know, man. Well, because, okay, that one, if he'd, like, just been a little bit more chill, which I understand not being, but, like, he could have, like, if he didn't activate the pin... Like, he could have had, like, so much more time to, like...
Get the thing out of his eye. Well, so, no, because What's-His-Face watches so carefully. Like, the pin is just to, like, be an effect. But if he saw that he was awake, he would have started it going.
And a lot of them are, like, eventually...
And he would have known that the key was in his eye if the pin didn't go off. Because then that pin sets the video off.
Killer for half.
Duh!
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, we haven't gotten to him yet... Billy the Bicycle Boy.
Aww, Billy.
Yeah.
So scary.
The scariest, but
also not.
Scary, but also hilarious on the videotapes when he's like, I mean, it's a super visual, but like just the way his mouth moves, because like, it's Jigsaw, and he's like, do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
But it's coming out of the mouth of a puppet on a old tube TV.
Always.
Also, I feel like maybe Jigsaw's, all of his traps are made out of, like, such pieces of shit because the majority of his budget goes towards, little handheld recorders.
So many tapes.
So many little tiny cassette tapes.
So many.
And so many fucking little recorders. He never reuses them, and sometimes people...
Maybe he does, you don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if he, like, goes back. Sometimes people get mad and smashes them. I bet that's what 95% of his budget goes towards. Are those.
And, like, all of the weird cloaks that he wears. He's very into hooded cloaks.
I read in the IMDb trivia that the cloak they turned inside out. Well, genius. Someone's like, turn it inside out, and they're like, oh my God, Steven, you are a genius. So, Saw 2 has Donnie fucking Wahlberg in it.
Yeah, it does.
I like this one a lot, because it also has Seventh Heaven.
Lucy from Seventh Heaven. Should we talk about the traps?
Yeah. So, like I said, there was the death mask.
Dude, this one has some fucked up traps.
It really...
fucking needle pit.
Yeah.
The fucking needle
So these
pit.
are... I mean, it's basically, like, these guys, like, are basically Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, but just, like... so much worse.
Well, the second one's cool because it's a bunch of people and it's in a whole house.
I like it when it's, like, a group of people who have to kind of work together. And like, they have to find their common... the common
denominator is that they're all ex-convicts. At least have been arrested, really.
Yes, because...
But
wrongfully so. So, which we will talk about. So there's the electrified staircase.
Yeah.
Then there's the nerve gas house, which is basically just the trial for those
That's
people.
just the whole thing. They're all, like, coughing up blood the entire movie, and they're all just kind of like, whatever. It's and like I would be like, oh my God! If I coughed up blood...
No, that's like how you know someone in a movie's dying. They cough up blood, you're like, okay, we get it, you are dying.
Right.
So there's the antidote safe room, which is the room they start out in. There's the Magnum eye hole gun.
Oh, yeah, that's the first one. That one's cool.
Yeah, that one's kind of cool. There's the furnace, which is also very Home Alone, which also out. And for the guy, Abby.
What's that guy? Avi.
Obi. I am They're like,
Abby.
who the fuck's Abby? And he's like, it's or they're like, who the
Remember
fuck's
that part-
Obi? And he's like, it's Obi. And
Remember
it's
that
me.
part when that guy like holds the knife up to him and he's like, if you're gonna threaten me with a knife,
Oh yeah.
you oughta cut me a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, Abby is like sexual. Like Abby's
No.
like, I'm into it. Cut
Abby
me.
looks like Moby.
Abby is Moby. So yeah, then there's the needle pit. Ouch. The only way I can get through watching that is because I've watched it with the DVD commentary
Yeah.
where they said they were all plastic needles.
Same.
Then there's the razor box, which is like,
Oh, Razorbox is fucked up when she puts her hands up in it and it just cuts your wrists.
yeah, and then there's just that like asshole guy who like doesn't want to work with anybody. He's
Ugh,
that
what's
one,
his name?
I don't know, fuckface. I don't know.
Guy who gets fucking.
Guy
He
who's-
kills the one guy with the bat to the head.
Yeah, that's
the
with
nail
the
bat.
nails. Yeah, that was mean.
That was gross.
So basically, Donnie Wahlberg's son gets kidnapped from him.
yeah, and he's like, no.
And he's like singing the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
And so Tobin Bell, Jigsaw, just wants to talk to him for 2 hours, just like
The
chill.
second movie's so good.
And they think that all of this, like, they think that there's this house where all of this shit is going on, and
lo and behold,
it actually had already happened, and because, like, Donnie Wahlberg freaks out and is like, take me to where my son is.
and then he gets taken, but
And
his
then he
son's
gets
fine the
taken.
whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well,
He's like in a box.
He's in a safe, because he keeps telling him he's in a safe place. And he was literally in a safe.
It
with,
must
like,
have been a soundproof safe, because don't you think he would have been like,
Oh,
Dad?
He had an oxygen mask on because he wouldn't have enough air in there. That's how H.H. Holmes killed his goddamn wife. He locked her in a safe, and she just lost oxygen.
Yeah.
And when they opened it up again, they could tell that she had tried kicking the door open.
How?
More later on our H.H. Holmes episode.
Wow.
How'd she try
wow.
kicking it open with her goddamn feet?
I would have tried.
I mean, you know what? The will to live. So, also, Jigsaw's kind of like a little true crime nerd, because in this movie he uses a nerve gas, like we talked about, on all the people in that house so that they slowly die. And he references the Tokyo subway attacks, which were committed by the cult, the Aum Shinrikyo. Which is like, and, so, like,
What?
I don't know. I think Jigsaw was, like, trying to, like, recruit, like, from what we know from the other movies, which who even fucking
Jigsaw,
knows?
140,000% is a cult leader.
Oh, 240 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that later.
We'll get more into that later. But yeah, so I love the actor who plays Eric, or like Donnie Wahlberg's son.
He's done a lot of stuff. He
he's
was in
a-
Scream 4.
I like him because he's got
He was
bags
in
under
that
his
one
eyes,
movie.
and he's like a little skinny guy, and he's just like
Yeah, he's cool.
he's really hot. So basically, a movie.
Oh, we also find out that Amanda,
Oh yeah, Amanda,
aka Shawnee
Miller,
No,
Shawnee
Shawnee
Smith. Yeah.
Shawnee Smith, played by Shawnee Smith, is like in on it.
Is
And that's
it-
when you find all
yes.
that shit out.
Because she was the one with
She was the Bear Trap girl in
she
the
was
first
Bear
movie.
Trap, and she had to get her cellmate. She had to literally
I don't know why I
cut
always
him
thought her
open.
cellmate was her husband.
because and I thought this too. I thought they said soulmate, and so I think I always thought it was. I always thought it was
cellmate?
soulmate. Yeah. Oh, also about number 2. They all realized that Eric is the son of the police officer who, because Donnie Wahlberg's character, like, fakes all of the evidence to make all of them go to jail. So basically, he's a dirty cop.
Yeah, such a fucking...
And so in the end,
bad cop.
so we find out that the bathroom from the first movie is, or we find out that under this house there are a series of tunnels, and that bathroom is down there.
Yeah, because then they have their SWAT team go to a totally different location.
It's like a
fake.
red hair. It's a fake setup
Yeah.
house, and this other one is this other house that has all those that has the crazy basement.
Yeah, the bathroom basement.
The bathroom basement. Yeah, like ugh.
Ugh.
Somebody shit down there.
Ew.
Somebody shit down there.
Yeah, in the first movie when he like reaches his hand to the toilet and it's like a bunch of poop in there. Who do you think Jigsaw pooped?
Oh yeah, he took a big old cancer.
Oh my god! Like
that
just
bad?
to be a dick, he's like, I'm gonna take a huge fucking
like-
shit in here so it fucking smells.
I took the biggest shit in the world.
You must put your hand in it to find something.
That wasn't even a trap. Ha
ha. Just my poop.
Guess who touched my poop? You.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so anywho, on to Saw 3.
Saw 3, which is...
Saw 3 got a 28 on the Rotten Tomatoes. I like it.
Just keeps going down and down.
It's good. It's because people don't... It makes them more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah.
The budget, though, fucking jumped to $10 million.
I bet, dude. That's when these movies were, like, in their height. Yeah. Like, so popular.
And it made, like, almost over $33 million.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so the traps we got is the classroom trap, which is that crazy, like, guy, and he has all of the chains, and he has to rip them all out.
He has the chain, like, in his fucking jaw.
But this trap, he could not have gotten out of. Because, like, remember, he tried, and it wouldn't come out for him. So, and then there's also... So there's all these character names, which I was trying to read something, like, about it, and it was saying their names, and I'm like, okay, this means nothing to me. And even as I was watching the movies, I was like, all of these people look exactly the same. Like, all of the women, all of the guy cops look basically exactly the same. So, anyway, so, like, that one, the Carrie girl, she was in, like, the first one and the second one.
Yeah, she's, like, the detective that works... She was the, like, curly-haired detective in the first movie.
Curly hair,
And then she was working with Donnie Wahlberg's character in the second movie.
Yeah, and she was, like, really close with Rig, who is the...
Yeah, Rig is the one... He's the officer, right? Or is he just a cop, or is he a SWAT guy?
No, he's one of... So there's, like, a team of all of these cops that are on the Jigsaw case.
Right, and so he's, like, the SWAT guy in the case?
Well, no, he's one of them. I don't know if he's necessarily SWAT. I don't know if he's SWAT or not.
Oh, I thought he was a part of the SWAT guys.
SWAT or not, IDK. I think it's just, like, the team of police detectives that are on that case, but I also have no fucking clue. So, anyhoozle, she dies hard in something called the Angel Trap, aka the Ribcage Ripper.
Yeah.
Where she has to
stick her hand in hydrofluoric?
I don't know which. I don't remember what acid. It's acid.
That eats your fucking skin for supper.
And she gets the key.
She unlocks it. Nothing happens.
And it's another faulty... Mm-hmm. It's another faulty trap.
It's all these traps that, like, are just messing with you.
And then there's Jeff. So tell us about Jeff, Morgan.
So Jeff is, like, a gross dad. Who, like, always wears a bathrobe.
You know why oh my god, you're so...
and, like, a dirty white t-shirt.
I just wanted to interject just real quickly that I agree that he's a gross dad, but I think it's also because he's always sweating. He's sweating throughout the entirety of the movie. Yeah. But he is also kind of a gross dad.
So we meet Jeff. He's, like, weird. He's really sad because his son was killed by a
drunk
drive-by.
Driver.
I don't think she was drunk. I think she was just a hit and run.
He was a hit and run. It was a guy who killed him.
Right. I was thinking of the
Spoiler alert. So, yeah. So, Jeff's thing is kind of a trial, and then there's traps within the trial.
Yeah.
And it starts out where he's, like, in a box. Yeah. And he thinks he's just in a box, but he's actually on a box, like, on top of, like, a forklift.
Yeah.
That was weird. And he has to, like, bust out of the box, but then also he falls in, like, what is the point of that? It's like, okay, so he falls a little more. So it sucks just a little more?
A little more.
Yeah, and so basically, this is where...
Jigsaw being like, ha ha!
He's like, LOL, you're in a box. LOL, you also have to fall out of this box. What's up, motherfucker? That's probably just, I don't know.
Get out of the box and then fall from the box.
So anyways, this is the first time we are at the Gideon meat packing plant.
Yeah, which is basically like the fucking headquarters.
It's like, it's
the warehouse.
Jigsaw's...
It's Jigsaw's lair.
It's Jigsaw's lair, yeah. It is his, yeah, it's exactly fucking right.
It's his fucking lair,
yeah, it's where he makes all of his bad things.
Where he makes all of these traps.
So, basically, Jeff is just, like, walking through, and he has to, like, forgive all of these people... Right. Who were involved
in the killing of his son.
Yeah, like, I think there's, like, someone on the jury.
It's the witness is the cold lady who's
the freezer
frozen.
Room. That one makes me feel
that one makes my nipples hurt.
Yeah, just because hers are, like...
Ouch!
Because these movies, there's no sex. So, like, there's very little nudity.
So they can show nudity, and it's, like, more...
I mean,
I think it's easier to get away with because she's not having sex. Or something
I don't
like
know.
that.
Probably. I mean,
like as far as like the what is it the
rule of thirds?
No, the FCC,
rule of titties.
Or who is
MPAA?
MPAA.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, they say fuck, and they're also really gory, but also like, oh my. Like, it just makes your tits really cold. So, the most disgusting trap of all times is the pig vat, and I don't even really want to talk about it.
I don't either.
So pigs are also
for those of you who have never seen it. Yeah, pigs are like a big deal in this whole franchise because the pig face mask.
Because of the pig face mask. And
Piggy pig.
Piggy pig pig pig. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of in American Horror Story. It reminded me because whenever you get kidnapped, it's always
by the pig shooting you with some dirty needle.
Some dirty ass needle. It's probably people get like chloroformed and they get like
there's a couple chloroformies.
There's a couple chloroformies, but it's mostly like I don't know that like generic fucking syringe. Everyone like Dexter has it. Like I don't know. It just makes people get knocked out for the literally perfect amount of time.
A tranquilizer.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Fries. It's magnets. So, anywhoozle, if you haven't seen it, it's basically just the judge, and he is strapped to the ground, and he is going to drown
by his neck.
Yeah, and he's going to drown in pig slop.
Literally dead, molded, like covered in.
If you are in PETA, you will.
Covered in maggots.
I couldn't.
And they're all just getting.
I couldn't watch it, and so he saves him out of this one.
Yeah. Thank God.
But then they go to the rack or the crucifix, which is where the killer of Jeff's son is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the young kid.
The young kid, and so basically,
that one's fucked.
Yeah, so the dude doesn't make it.
But he tries.
He tries very hard, but in order to get the key to get out of it, because there's a part in the movie, okay, so there's also, I think her name's like Corbett or something. He also has a daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, and also this entire time, there's also...
the whole storyline
of
what Lynn and Jigsaw and Amanda are all doing
so Amanda
together.
kidnaps this
So Amanda's
doctor.
hair is now long and fucking flowing. Her ass looks cute and fat as fuck.
She wears red lipstick.
Yeah, bitch.
She says cunt a lot.
She has her shoulders showing.
Oh, yeah. She has the cold shoulder look.
And so Lynn is a neurosurgeon?
No, she's like an ER. She's an ER doctor, but she's also
she's a she's big in heads. That's why he wanted her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she works in the ER, but she's also one of those like movie tropes of like one of those doctors where like they just look at you and they're like, "Oh, you have this."
Yeah.
Because they show that one scene where like the little boy needs something. And so anyways, so she has like a shotgun collar around her neck.
Yeah.
And if John dies at any point. So she basically performs trepanation on John, which, like, oh my god, last week I needed so...
It's just like when you get your head cut open so that the pressure can be released from your brain.
Yes, because there's a lot of pressure on his brain. And so she's, like, trying to do this, and she keeps being like, I need to go to a hospital, and
she's like, I can't do this here.
Even at one point, I was like, okay... You're not gonna go to a hospital, bitch.
Lynn, just do it.
Just fucking do it with the fucking shit you have. Like,
oh, and it's such a badass scene.
It is really badass, and it like makes my head feel really good. So, what I kind of don't understand with Amanda is like, does she love him like a dad or like a lover, or is it like a cult thing?
It's a both.
You know
what? It's an all three,
dude. It is a Bakwan Sheila
for sure.
Oh my god, it's Bakwan and Sheila. I think he literally kisses her on the goddamn forehead. He's always walking around in a cloak, like with his hands in the prayer position. But yeah, so Amanda this is when like we kind of realized we realized in the second one that she's like his apprentice, and so one of many, and so then
I don't even think the first.
No, and so Jeff's final test is to like not. Also, you don't realize... So, like, when you first see Lynn, she's getting out of bed with another guy. Yeah. And he's like, I want divorce or something.
He says...
I think you need I don't know. But
he says something like...
something.
I think he does say, I want a divorce.
I want a divorce. But then you find out that Jeff is actually Lynn's husband.
Yeah.
So, like, him saying, I want a divorce.
Because they're having an affair.
Yeah.
And so he says, I want a divorce, like, I want you to divorce your husband.
Yeah, but he just says it, like, the dumbest way.
I want a divorce.
I want a divorce. I want a divorce for you, Lynn. And so, anywho, Lynn, like, helps John. It's, like, all gravy. And so John starts acting really, really lovey-dovey towards Lynn, which starts really antagonizing Amanda. And so Amanda's actually also being tested.
Yep.
And Amanda's like cut her, and she also does heroin.
Yeah.
And
there's a really badass scene, side note, where in the second movie, I mean, it's not badass, but Amanda's like cutting herself, and it's like a fast cutaway, and they're playing this really cool song by The Used that I was so obsessed with when that movie came out, and I was just like, ah!
Morgan.
Oh my god, I used to fucking love it. I mean, I still do, but
loves it. So I think Amanda had to die because all of the traps that she set up weren't made for the person to be able to escape.
Yeah, so that's why he was like, what the fuck, Amanda?
Yeah, and because he says he doesn't like murder, but I will get back to that at some point also. Because, like, those two people of the traps that she fixed up, they, like, couldn't, get out.
They weren't able to get out because they were unwinnable.
Mm-hmm. And she also mercy kills Adam because he gets left behind. Yeah. She, like, strangles him with a bag.
Because she knew him.
Yeah. And because she felt bad. And
they had, like, flirted once.
She was supposed to put the key that, like, in the very first scene of the first movie where the key goes down the drain, she was supposed to put it in his pocket, and she put it on his chest so that it would go down the drain. Mm-hmm. Adam could have gotten out at any point and had left Dr. Gordon in there to rot.
Yeah. Or could have helped him, whatever.
Or, like, whatever, like, helped him or something. But, yeah, so I think in previous episodes I have said that I don't like... episodes of our show where I said I don't like the Darren Lynn Bousman ones, but those are actually, I realize now...
really good.
Really fucking good. Like the... like I said, I really like the cuts in between them. Mm-hmm. And then this is also the first time we see Jigsaw's wife, Jill, in the movies.
Jill's in the third one.
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes by Miss Tuck. Mrs.
Right, because we see what he left for her. Or is that in the fourth one?
It's coming up. It's somewhere, dude. This is when things start to get like, ooh,
kind of confusing.
Yeah. But Miss Tuck would be a great drag queen name.
She's really pretty. Oh my god, that is a really good drag queen
that
name.
And Barbara Bongwater.
Miss Tuck.
And here's Miss Tuck. She's ready to fuck because her tuck. I don't know.
I got it.
Anywho's on to Saw Fjord. It came out 2007 and got a 17%.
17.
But it still made almost over $31 million.
Decent. That's about what the first one made.
Opening weekend. So,
or the second.
Yeah.
Or the third? I don't know.
IDK, dude. They all come out around
Halloween.
So there are 10 traps in this one. The first one is the mausoleum, and you don't really know what is going on. Because it's a dude and his eyes are sewn shut, and there's a dude with his mouth sewn shut.
Yeah. And hear no evil, see no evil.
Yeah, and then
see no evil, speak no evil.
Yes, and a guy with mouth closed shut wins, and then that's like the cold open. And so then it comes to Riggs' trial, because he has become so obsessed with it, and like in wanting to save everybody.
And wanting to, like, especially because of what's-her-face's character.
I believe he was in love with Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie.
So, yeah, there's that scalping seat.
Ooh, is that the one where the girl has her ponytail?
It's
ripped
basically,
off. Oh,
it's basically one of those. You remember those things from the 90s, the like magic braiders?
Yes.
It's basically like a hard ass core version of, or what are those, like the topsy turvy?
I know what you're talking about.
You know the topsy turvy.
One of my friends one time had this curling iron that you just like put your hair into it, and it's supposed to like curl your hair. But when she did it to my hair, it like got all caught in it. And for a second, I thought I was gonna lose my hair, but I didn't.
That video, that online that like viral video of the girl who's like curling her hair, and she's like, "Okay," and then you take
and
a
then
piece.
It burns off.
It makes me.
And
sad.
she was like, "What the fuck?"
That's sad. It's sad. I go through every stage of grief when
seriously.
I watch that video. So, excuse me. So yeah, that scalping seat.
Scalp, yeah.
Like That's scary. And so then there's the bedroom trap where he goes to the hotel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he goes to the hotel. The dude in the hotel's dog's name is literally Chance. No, don't worry. As soon as I saw the dog, I went to doesthedog.com.
And he doesn't.
And he don't. But get it, Chance, like, because Jigsaw gives people chances to live.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, this is what I feel is kind of weird because the owner of the hotel is also a serial killer. And then, like, a serial rapist.
Right.
So, like, why would I fucking care that he dies? I couldn't watch his death.
When he gets his,
Well, it's really gross. He gets, like, drawn and quartered.
Yeah. Ooh, is that what that's called?
When all of your... Yeah. That's, like, the old-timey... That's, like, an old, like, Spanish... Or, like, medieval
explain
torture.
It to everyone.
Oh, it's great. It's when, like, you have something tied to both your hands and both your legs. It's basically the hokey pokey, except, like, when you, put them out, they stay out forever, and you never... That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
So he was basically just like torso when they get to him. Also, in the beginning of this movie, the cold mausoleum isn't the cold. No, the cold open in this movie is Jigsaw's autopsy.
Yes, because he dies in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's-his-face shoots him.
Yeah, but I'll blow your mind unless you already know this. But you 100% see Jigsaw's dick. I don't know if it's Tobin Bell's dick, but if it is, like, good job, because he was dead for presumably a while, I would imagine, but, like...
And he has the fucking thing in his stomach.
Yeah, and he has the tape.
That's been covered in... The scene where he's, like, deep-throating the tape.
Yeah, it's like...
Because it's, like, covered in wax, and he just, like, opens his mouth up super wide and, like, swallows it.
How?
Like, okay.
How?
Impressive.
That wouldn't work because...
It's like, yum.
So they had to have... Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. He might as well have just, like, shoved it into, like, Billy, the puppet's mouth, and it would just be like, no, 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 no.
Seriously.
Or they could have...
Or he should have just been like, put it in my head.
Oh, my God.
It's already open.
Billy... Instead of fucking getting a new goddamn recorder every single time, he should have made
Billy the recorder?
The recorder like a Teddy Ruxpin. God damn it. And Teddy is always on, like, a TV, except for, like, one trap.
Right.
So, anyways, they also say when he dies that he was 52.
What?
And I know he has but I thought he was in his fucking 70s. Honestly, I
At
thought he was
least late-ass 60s.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's younger than our dad.
Someone kind of fucked up there, and I think it was the script supervisor.
IDK. So Jill. So this is also. This isn't the introduction of Hoffman. Hoffman is also. He's one of the detectives on the case. He's at the very, very beginning of, like, the third one, and when they're at the classroom scene, he, like, picks up one of the hooks and, like, puts it in his pocket.
Yeah, he's, like, a weirdo, but he's, like, also hot.
He kind of looks like a Bobo Stallone.
Totally. He played Friar Fuck in that one episode of Sex and the City when Samantha's really into fucking, like, a priest, and she's just like, please have sex with me, and he's like, no, and she's like, damn it.
Yeah, he's very pretty. He's also in the movie Mafia. I think it's Mafia. Yeah, he's really hot, but yeah, no. He's and he's, like, a big part of it, and so he's the cop on the, like, at the what's it called, at the coroners when they're, like, checking out his body. Let's see. And so then, like Morgan said, they found a tape, like, in his stomach, and then everything kind of happens.
Yeah, that's when everything starts.
And so then there's also a spike trap. I forget what that one is.
Isn't that the one that, like, pokes his eyes out and stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He has to, like, have his eyes poked out. Like, he has to either, like... He has to, like, let little hammers down to poke his eyes out or something.
And his, like, fingers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like yuck.
Yucky.
And then there's the ice block trap, which is literally just... Donnie Wahlberg getting his head killed. Donnie Wahlberg, yeah, and like
and for no reason, kind of,
because he keeps trying to kill himself. He wants to die.
Yeah, just kill him.
Just, like, let him, but they can't.
That'd be a weird, refreshing way to die.
Because then it sets off. It does
just two big slabs of ice,
baby,
just closing down on the noggin,
baby.
Isn't that what everyone wants when they've got a head-splitting headache?
I think so. And so this is when it starts getting crazy. So also Perez and this character Strum. They're from the FBI, and they get in on it. And Strum, I think, sometimes looks exactly like Hoffman. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I completely understand.
Well, the one guy is from Gilmore Girls.
Really?
Wait.
Oh, he is. Strum's from Gilmore Girls?
Am I thinking of the right guy?
I don't know.
Pause it.
Okay, hold up.
We're gonna take a break, y'all. Holly, do you know what one of my biggest pet peeves is?
Is it when Tuesday starts eating her food loudly right as we're about to start recording the podcast every week?
Yeah, but also, you know, like when your headphones or your earbuds or whatever get all tangled up and there's a million little knots and you can't get them out?
I hate that too, which is why I've been loving our new Studio Bluetooth headphones. Even the cord they do provide if you don't feel like using Bluetooth isn't one of those skinny little cords that get tangled super duper easy. Everything about the Studio design is a sleek and unbelievably streamlined process.
Studio was inspired by the beauty and vibrance of Stockholm, Sweden, and they believe remaining true to their Scandinavian roots is what has helped get them where they are today.
Studio wants to revolutionize the way consumers see headphones and earbuds, not just as a tech device, but also as a gorgeous accessory that you'll be proud to wear out and about.
I know, I've already taken several cute photos with my headphones. Holly and I both got the Regent on-ear model, and we also both got the really cute marble interchangeable caps that they provide. And people keep coming up to me asking me where I've got them, because they don't look like any other headphone really out there, like on the market right now.
No, same here. They're definitely a piece of art, and you can wear them around, and as an artist, I'm obsessed. Their minimalistic look is very cute.
Studio also has smaller earbuds like their tray design that are amazing for working out. They're sweat-proof, and they have custom wingtips, so they fit very securely around your ear.
What the frick are you waiting for? Go to their website, studio.com, to get your first pair of headphones or earbuds, and if you use our promo code, The Sisters Grimm, that's with 2 M's, you'll get 15% off.
That's right, The Sisters Grimm, 2 M's for 15% off your entire order today. So yeah, Scott Patterson is Strom, and he is the guy from Gilmore Girls who dates Lorelai. I can't think of his stupid name right now.
Who doesn't want to marry Lorelai?
I know.
So this is also, we find out that Hoffman is in on it, and we see the... Oh, wait, no, maybe we don't. There's the knife chair? I forget about the knife chair.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
The knife chair is... Hold on one second. So... okay, that's Cecil. Cecil is... So, Jill, like... has this like wayward home for like addicts or something, like
right.
John makes her start it, and Amanda goes there, and the place gets robbed by Cecil, and he's like makes,
and at this time Jill's pregnant,
and he like makes the door run into her stomach, and she has a miscarriage, and Gideon,
and she's like really
going to be their son, pregnant. Yes, and Gideon was the name of the son, and he is who the meat plant is named after, and also he was supposed to be born in the year of the pig, which is all the pig imagery is from, which is like, why? But, so Cecil's trap is that he has to, so this is the knife chair. He's the one who has to push his face up against the knives.
Yes.
And then he ends up, and he gets out, or like, no, the chair breaks, because it's like, it's his first one, so maybe he like fucks up, but then he literally falls into a pile of barbed wire, and it is literally the Twisted Pictures interstitials. Like,
Twisted
1,000% hot dogs. And so then we also realize that the fourth movie and the third movie are happening at the same time.
Yeah, are concurrent.
They're happening concurrently because Detective Strom, Gilmore Girls, runs into where the end of the third movie is happening with, like, in the, where, like, John is being killed.
Yes, and he walks in there, and then he gets...
And he kills Jeff.
Piggy-pigged.
And he gets piggy-pigged.
Yeah, he's who kills Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone from the third movie is dead.
Yes.
Even Amanda, yeah.
And he was supposed to die. But so Saw 4 is kind of like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead of the Saw movies, I guess. Or like Lion King .5.
Right.
After watching this movie, I like lost all sense of time because I was like,
what? Yeah, it's
like,
really,
how many more Saw movies do I have to watch?
Just like love like being like, oh, but wait, this also happened, ya bitch.
Yeah. Oh, also Hoffman, his name is Costas Mandalore, but his real name, like his birth baby born name, was Costas Theodosopoulos. So he's hella Greek, and he's in all those big fat Greek movies.
Oh,
he's
is
like
he?
He's like the brother.
That's why he's so fucking hot.
Yeah, because because when I think of hot, I think of my big fat Greek Greek wedding,
girl.
2 movies. So now we're on to 5 golden saws.
Dude, the first golden trap in this movie, when his head is just submerged in that like glass box and it gets filled up with water.
Is that like your worst fear? Because I thought it was very poorly planned out.
Yeah, well, this is when everything starts getting sloppy.
Technically the first one is the pendulum trap. So the pendulum trap. Okay, also this movie came out 2008, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, who cares?
But it also has like the same budget, and it also always makes back its like threefold.
People always watch it.
So the first one is the pendulum trap, and it is the guy, and he is like laying down, and he has to break his hands, or he'll eventually get sliced to death. But even though he breaks his hands, he gets sliced to death.
Yeah,
and you think it is a saw trap.
You think it's a jigsaw trap.
You think it's a jigsaw trap, and that's like kind of the opening scene, but. We'll get back to that. So yes, the water cube.
Yeah.
He was supposed to die.
So genius. With the fucking... He grabs his pen, stabs himself in his fucking vocal box?
No, he gives himself the quickest, most accurate pen trichotomy I've ever seen. Like, that is knowing how... That's how you become in the FBI.
Yep.
Like, that's knowing how to deal under pressure. And so
that shit is genius.
So he lives when he's supposed to die, and he also talks like this for the rest of the movie. Because he's like,
sitting there having to breathe out of his fucking neck wound.
Probably long enough that he had a lot of revelations about his life.
That'd be so weird to be like, I'm breathing through my neck.
I'm breathing through my neck.
And only my neck, because my face is just so covered in water.
My face is literally in water. And so, all throughout these movies, they're non-linear at all. Mm-hmm. None of them are linear whatsoever. Like, they're all happening, like with the third and fourth one,
they're all making up things that happened as they can. They're like, I don't know, and then this happens.
Also, they're all made by different directors, and so they're all taking different spins on it.
Yeah.
And so it's not, and the people who made the first one didn't realize
that so many people were gonna, like, alter their shit.
Exactly. So they kind of had to, like, probably, like, slap shit together. So I like this one because a lot like the second one has like a group of people, and it's called the Fatal Fives trial. Mm-hmm. So it's that trial of 5 people, aka Julie Brunette Benz
from fucking Dexter. And
speaking
also
of Dexter,
Jawbreaker.
Oh god, I was explaining the movie. Oh, fun fact, I think we've talked about it on the show, that I'm allergic to Jawbreakers.
Yeah, we just found out Holly is allergic to Jawbreakers.
I'm allergic to Jars Breakers. I don't know what aspect of them. I'm guessing maybe red, yellow, number 7 or something.
Probably.
Something stupid like that. So there's this Fatal 5, and they all wake up in a room, and they all have these things around their necks, and above them are like fucking slicey slices. Yeah. And, you know, the tape plays, and they have to all go get their keys.
We don't need to explain this movie, like, shot for fucking shot.
No. So, anyway, so the Fateful 5 has to go through... There's, like, the necktie trap, and one girl gets beheaded. Yeah. There's the ceiling jars, and some dude gets, like, a bunch of fucking needles stuck in him.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, the girl does. Like, the junkie girl does.
Yeah, and they all have, like, drugs in them, so she gets all fucked up looking.
They're all... Yeah, and so then there's the shotgun chair, which this is... so we find out that the first trap in the movie was actually done by Hoffman after. So the second trap was Amanda.
He was the one watching through the window.
Yes. The second tramp was Amanda.
The one for...
Or no. No. Okay, so the one with Cecil happens first. That one where the guy falls into a pile of barbed wire. And so this is when, like, there's, like, people...
I thought Cecil is in 4.
No, but that's Jigsaw's first kill. You just don't find out about it until the 4th movie. That's why these are all over the fucking place. So Cecil is the first kill, and so then after they find out about that, because he takes the puzzle piece from him, Hoffman makes this look like a Jigsaw kill, because the guy that he kills, I forget what his fucking name is, I think Seth, and Seth killed Hoffman's sister, and so he's, like, getting back at him. But then Jigsaw finds out... And so Jigsaw then puts him through a test, and he has, like, a shotgun on him or something. I forget what he has to do. Something with his hands. I don't fucking know. But anywho, then there's an electric bath that the 5 have to go through. That one girl dies hard. And then they get to the pints of sacrifice. And this is the part where I think it gets really crazy. Because it's like there's places for 5 people to put their hands, and so this entire time they thought that they were supposed to be killing people, and then they realized
they were supposed to keep all of the people, so there was enough blood to fill up this, like, basin.
They have to fill up a beaker with 10 pints of blood, the most blood.
But there's only
according
2 of
to
them
the
now?
Movie. Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically, the first one, there's, like, keys. One key, only one person had to get a key, and it would have opened all of them.
Yeah.
The next one is, like, a bunch of nail bombs.
Yeah.
And there's, like, these 3, like, holes, and they're like, oh, more people could have fit in those holes.
Yeah.
And then the bathtub one, you had to put it to, like, 5 different points, and all 5 of them were supposed to just get a small jolt.
Yeah.
And so then when they get to this fucking pints of sacrifice, both of them have to give up the most blood they can.
So much blood.
And they both choose to do it by losing it all through, like, their hands are... Yeah. Like, they would have died. I would have done the hand thing, but I would have done both of my hands. Yeah. I would have rather have 2 fucked up hands. I mean, the one dude's hand is literally, like, all flippy floppy. I don't know. I think it's all supposed to be your hand, but, like, that's when they realize. So technically, I feel like they lose. Also, they find out that they're all there because they are all related to this one apartment building catches on fire and, like, 8 people die. And it's like, who cares?
Right. There's a lot of who cares going on towards the end of this franchise.
Yeah. Also, from scene to scene...
There's a lot of fucking pulling at threads.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's, like, all, like... Well, so then Strom gets to the final thing, and so there's this box that's full of glass. And they're like, do you want to hurt for a little bit, or do you want this to be your tomb? And so he gets mad and turns the tape off, and so then Hoffman comes in, and then he, like, makes Hoffman get in, like, the glass coffin. Mm-hmm. And then he finishes the tape, and he's like, or this is going to be your tomb forever. And the room basically closes up, and the glass thing, like, drops. So he's fine.
Yeah, that part is so insane.
And
so he's in, like, this cylindrical glass thing that he thinks is not where he wants to be, but really, that's the safest place for him to be.
Exactly. And, yeah, and so then he tries climbing out, and... the only thing that gets out is his hand.
Yeah.
His hand is stuck there at the top. And, yeah. Oh, and so then also we find out... Yeah, Strom hella fucking dies. And then also... Oh, Strom also... Oh, because he also is, like, going through... He goes down, like... I feel like Strom also goes down to where the bathroom is.
Who knows?
No, he does, because, okay, the house from the second movie, Hoffman fixes up to look like a regular house.
Yeah.
And then Strom breaks in and then finds all the shit in the basement.
Right.
Where everything is. And then we find out that the second victim was Mark. The guy in the, what's it called? Barbed wire.
Yes.
And then Amanda was the third victim.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first victim to live.
Yeah.
And so that's why he took her on as a apprentice.
Yeah.
And now we are finally on to fucking Saw 6.
Ugh.
This one...
Which is the final chapter, correct?
No.
No?
No.
What was this one called?
Saw 6.
And then the next one's final chapter?
Yeah, it's like... it's like Saw 7 / Saw 3D / Saw Final Chapter /
Yeah.
So this one got a 39.
What?
Yeah. Right?
Excuse me.
It did the worst opening weekend, though.
Yeah, what
like,
the fuck?
holy
They don't know
bad.
what they're talking about, man.
No, like, honestly...
I'm gonna let you fully go with this one, because I cannot tell you I know a lot about Saw 6.
Okay, I think you will once you start hearing about it. And
well, that's how it always works, but yes.
This one is definitely, for me, the most emotionally upsetting one.
Okay.
Because it's all about... Okay, so the cold open starts with these two people, this kind of bigger guy and this woman, like this businesswoman. I think they're both... Oh, this one is like actually super fucking topical. Because this takes place in 2009, and it's both of these real estate people who helped... like basically aid to the financial bubble popping of 2009. And so they both have to, it's kind of like the blood one before, like they both have to cut off their body parts.
And it's that one girl who won the first season of Scream Queens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know. She's really fucking good.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Oh, I love that show. Do you guys remember that original show, Scream Queens? It came on Sci-Fi, and it was like, I don't know, like 10 girls, and it was like competing to be the next Scream Queen. And the first season was hosted by the girl who plays Amanda in these movies, but then the second season was hosted by Jamie King.
Oh, cool.
Who was in one Scary Movie, but anyways.
Who cares? She
But,
was in Slackers.
yeah, this girl, she won the first season.
That's super cool. I didn't know that. I knew that there was a
and
girl.
she's in the next movie too.
She is. She's amazing. She's a very good actress. So yeah, they're given, like, there's, like, knives and, like, there's, I don't know. So the guy starts, like, cutting off, like, his stomach flesh. Ooh. And there's butcher knives, and she just she starts sawing, like, cutting off her arm with, like, a bread knife.
It's one of those big ass.
Oh, then she gets a cleaver, fucking chops her arm off at the elbow and puts it in the thing.
She's
and is
smart.
Like, bye, bitch.
Because he's like trying to like saw off like pieces of himself.
Oh god, yeah.
And she's just like, it's fine. Here's my arm.
She's just like, cool, bye, arm.
Right.
And so now we begin William's trial. William is...
You're gonna have to remind me who William is.
William's like skinny and weaselly looking. And he is an insurance dude.
Yeah.
And like, and so towards the beginning of the movie, this dude comes in, played by George Newbern, aka the husband from the Father of the Bride movies. Oh. He was also, what else was he in? Oh, he was the Danny from Friends, who like had a Cersei Jamie Lannister thing going on with his sister. Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah.
He's also
he dates Rachel.
He's also in this like really shitty movie where does the voice of a dinosaur, and it's like a buddy cop movie with Whoopi Goldberg that she was sued into doing. Yeah, she was like, I don't want to do that movie, and they're like, you are contractually obligated, and she's like, fuck.
That sucks.
Yeah, and if you don't think that it doesn't show that she doesn't want to be in that movie. So anyhoozle. And he like gets cancer or something's wrong with him, and so the insurance drops him because, you know, it's bad. And so that's how he's a bad guy, because he is a shitty insurance person. Mm-hmm. So let's see. So William's trial is that he has to decide, like, because his thing is basically he came up with this algorithm of like who they pick to be on their insurance, and like who gets to live and who gets to die. And so he's like, okay, and so it's all these things where it's like two people, and it's like who lives, who dies. So the first one is where he finds himself, and it's him and it's the janitor who works at the insurance agency, and the tape says that like the janitor smoked his whole life, has like lung and heart problems and continues to smoke, and they have like this vice around their chest, and so the more they breathe, the tighter it becomes. So it's basically just like whoever can hold your breath the longest. And honestly, I have horrible asthma, and even I could hold my breath. Like there's it's a lot harder to hold your breath under those, like, stressful circumstances.
Yeah.
Also, I'd probably be having a panic attack and I would just die.
And
so,
it'd be super hard to breathe.
Still. So, anyways, William makes it. So then he comes to... This also all takes place at an abandoned zoo.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool, though.
It's cool, but it's like, how do you find those?
Right. Easy.
Apparently. It's, like, drippy and weird. So, let's see. Then he comes to the gallows, and his receptionist, which is, like, this sweet old woman, but she has diabetes, but she has, like, kids and, like, grandkids and stuff, and then it's one of, like, the interns, and, you know, he's, like, completely healthy, but he has absolutely no family whatsoever, and he has to decide, and they both have nooses of, like, barbed wire on their necks, and he has to decide who lives and who dies.
He picks the old lady,
and
right?
he picks the older lady, yeah. Which, honestly, I'm sorry,
I would have
if I had no fucking choice, me too.
Yeah.
It sucks. And so, okay,
diabetes isn't that...
I mean,
it's not the best, but, like, our granddad has diabetes, and he's 87. That's old as fuck. So at least he's alive.
Old. He's VVV old. Also, there's the girl, like, so her, Strom, the dude, and Perez was, like, the curly-haired woman. Not Carrie. Mm-hmm. But they, like, made them think that she died, but then she, like, is alive in this one, and Hoffman's, like, really pissed. And so they, like, he takes Strom's hand and, like, leaves fingerprints at, like, some crime scene to make it seem like Strom is the guy. And so the William, the insurance guy, has, like, these, like, 6 people, like, workers, and they all find, like, problems in people's insurance, claims, so that, like, they don't get money or that they drop them or something. Yeah. So it's shitty. It's very fucking shitty. Yeah. So also, basically, William is part of this because at some point John comes to him after he's been diagnosed with cancer that there is this treatment that is from another country, but, like, he wants to try it, and he's, like, really good friends with William, and William's like, no, like, we aren't going to cover you for it, like, and if you get it done, like, we will drop you as a client, or like, as, a insurer. I don't fucking know. So there's also this room, and there's a mother and son, and it's connected to this other room with this journalist who's, like, a female journalist, and like really really brash and whatever. And there's a huge thing of hydrofluoric acid. Oh fuck yeah. So it's highly caustic, and it can only be, because I got very I really needed to know about this hydrofluoric acid, because I got hydrofluoric acid confused with, I'm like, what's the difference between hydrofluoric acid and hydrochloric acid? And so, like, hydrofluoric acid and I have a lot in common. Both of our initials are HF, and we both don't fully ionize and dilute aqueous solutions. But, so, the portrayal of this hydrofluoric acid starts okay. It's caustic and needs to be in a special container. They show it through eating through the floor, which is possible. But even if it's just airborne, you're, like, fucked after 2 hours, so they would have been fucked. Also, you can, like, only, like, a very small portion of your body can come in contact with your skin, or else you're, like, fucked.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You said a little part of your body can come in contact with your skin.
A little part of your body can, only a little part of your body can have contact with hydrofluoric acid. But hydrochloric acid was what Jeffrey Dahmer used to clean the flesh off the dead bodies. Yeah. Because the acids, like, break apart calcium. This is so fucking boring. But let's see. There's also the steam maze, and he has to, like, lead some other girl, like, through a maze, and he has to take some of the steam so that she can get through.
I do remember that one. And they're both just like, ah!
Yeah, and so then there's the shotgun carousel where all of his, like, the team of all of those, like, young people, and so, like, he can pick 2 people to live, and he picks, like, it's really fucked up. Yeah. I don't like it. And then we see the reverse bear trap used a second time.
Yeah.
Because Jill is in on it now.
Yep.
And
Jill's always been in on it.
Jill's always been in on it. Also, I think it's during this one where she goes to like John's executor, and she gets that box.
Yes, that's when she gets the box, and it has like his last will and...
Yeah, it has the letter for Dr. Gordon.
Yeah.
And it has the reverse bear trap in it for her to use on Hoffman. So anyways, the end of the one thing is you find out that the mother and son of George from George Newburn's character, who dies, obviously, and they're like, fuck you, you died, or our dad died because of you.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually like that mom and that son's like test, because they can choose whether to kill William or not, and they decide to kill him, and he gets like all of these like tubes, and like all of the hydrochloric acid goes through him, and it's really fucking nasty, and he's just like a pile of like viscous, bloody mush.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just like mushy, mush, gross, bye. Also, finally, or I think in the beginning of this one, also, Hoffman saves that little girl, Corbett, or Corbett or whatever, and at the very...
Tries to look like a hero.
And at the very, very end of the credits, there is a scene where Amanda, like, goes up to the room where Corbett's being, like, kept, and she says, don't trust the man who comes to save you. Or, like, the man who's coming to save you is a bad man.
Scary.
Yeah. So then finally we have the goddamn Saw 7 / Saw 3D, the final chapter /
Which isn't even the last one.
No. I mean, it kind of is in this realm,
I guess. Let's try to explain it quickly.
Yeah, it has fucking 14 traps. They tried putting
Jesus
as many. They're dumb and stupid. This one only got a 9, and it did really bad.
The first trap is crazy.
Yeah, the public execution trap.
Yeah, the one out in public. That one was cray.org.
And it's the only time...
And also kind of not scary. And it's like daylight.
And that girl kind of deserved it. I like that the brothers were like... Or
they're
the
not brothers,
boys.
they're just
no, the
dudes.
boys. Well, they're brethren.
I guess.
They like come together and they're like, yeah, no, fuck this girl.
Fuck you a hoe.
But, so then we also find... there's this guy, Bobby... And he claims that he had survived in a saw trap.
Yeah, a saw trap.
Yes.
A jigsaw trap.
Yes. And so, okay, the part of the movie where he's on the TV show and he had just written the book, that happens in between Saw 1 and Saw 2.
Yes.
Everything after that where you see him is after all of that and is in the present.
Yeah.
Because now he has started... a like recovery group, and you see a bunch of people from the other movies.
Yeah, the girl that chopped her arm off that was from Scream Queens.
You see, I believe I wrote it down. Some of the people. You see the one dude who was like the junkie in like the 5th movie.
Yeah,
or 6th. I don't even fucking know at this point. The secretary that he saved, and just like a lot of other people. But like the one girl. Like that was from Scream Queens, like because I think Hoffman goes and visits her, and he's like, "Don't you feel like you've like accomplished something?" And she's like, "What the fuck does this like?" And she's just like, like shaking her stump at him, and she's like, "I don't have a fucking hand." She's like, "What have I learned? What does this do?
Do I learn from
what
this?
Does this prove?
Right.
What is the reason for this? Like, what does this even help?" So then they're at one of these meetings, and then from the shadows comes Dr. Gordon, like, sarcastically clapping, and...
Yeah. Carrie Ools makes his fucking way back in.
So, you know, Patrick Flannery is the one who plays Bobby, a.k.a. Powder.
Yeah.
And obviously Dr. Gordon knows that Patrick Flannery's lying, and that he was never tested by Jigsaw, but then he does get tested. He says, like, his pecs... Like, he had hooks in his pecs, and then...
Kind of the angel thing.
A little bit. And, yeah. Oh, there's also, Todd from, 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 Todd there's a new cop in this movie, and it's Todd from Final Destination.
Okay.
And he's like...
Yeah!
Yeah. And
Isn't there also that one girl?
Yeah, I think you're right. There's
Whatever,
so
dude.
many fucking characters in these goddamn movies.
You guys, these movies are like... What?
Yeah, no, and I also realized in all of Darren Lynn Bousman movies, all of the cops and all of like the crime scenes, they're all wearing gloves, and they're all doing things by the book. In this movie, that Todd from Final Destination is eating a goddamn apple while talking over a dead body that is part of a crime scene.
Yeah, it's they get real like just not
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the autopsy, which happens at the beginning of Saw 4, you think takes place after Saw, after Saw 3. But it actually takes place after Saw 6.
Okay.
Because that's when Hoffman's game starts. Because because they tell the tape that, he comically swallows.
Right.
Tells him, like, your game has started, you're the only one left, basically.
Yeah. You are the shit.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, there's so many fucking... There's, like, a horse, there's a pain train, but it's not real, it's just a nightmare. Because Jill starts getting really afraid that Hoffman is going to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
There's the horsepower tramp, and it's a bunch of, like, neo-Nazis, and I'm like, I want all of them to die. I don't really care. Then there's Bobby's thing, and there's just, like, I don't know...
Then Jill finally at the end gets reverse bear trapped again.
Yes. And she...
Oh, no, she doesn't. Is that what she does?
At the end of the other movie, Hoffman gets reverse bear trapped, and then he, like, puts his head in between the windows.
Yeah, he's smart, and so it doesn't fully do it. But how does he get it off, is my question.
He just rips his mouth out.
Ow.
Ouch. Yeah. There's just, like, a sea of characters in these movies at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, also, these movies take place over the course of, like, a couple weeks to, like, 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no way to tell. And so, then... So basically, like, Carrie Elwes is, like, behind everything.
He, since, like, when the first movie happened... He has been, not behind everything, but he was, like, he was basically another Amanda.
He was the main...
We'll say that.
I guess. But, okay.
But was he? Because then what happens in Jigsaw kind of takes that out.
Well, okay. I guess I'll say this now because this more applies to the first, like, set of movies. Mm-hmm. When they wrote the first movie, they didn't even know that they were going to do more movies.
Right.
I mean, there's so many inconsistencies because they were made by and written by so many different directors and writers that, like...
And people kind of, editing it and producers changing things and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and
everything gets
in
really...
the third one... Yeah, in the third one...
Dirty, muddy waters.
Yeah, in the third one, John says he hates murderers, but Amanda has to murder her cellmate in order to...
Yeah.
Like, beat her. Also, a lot of his traps, someone has to murder another person.
That, like, who knows what they did bad.
Exactly. And it's fucking ridiculous. And so that's why I think that's all over the place. And people try to make these movies a lot more complex, but it's fucking crazy. I read this really cool article, if you give a shit enough. It's on Digital Spy, and it's, like, the entire Saw movie... like movies like
broken down.
Yeah, and it's all of it in chronological order. That's how I found out all of that stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking crazy. Because there's also, we never talked about him, but there's also the lawyer Blank. He's very confused. Like he was the one who was in the mausoleum with his mouth closed. But, like we said, there's so many goddamn
things.
Yeah. There's also...
I will be reading that when we're done with this.
Oh, which one?
This thing.
Okay, cool. But also, I was just going to say that there is a point where Jill is being questioned when she says something about, like, John is very complicated. His life cannot be looked at, like, as a linear. And I'm like, whoa, that is very, very true. So, like, you can't... like have expected them to have cleaned up all loose ends, which is why I think they went the route they did with Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Like to completely just like
change everything.
And which is why spoiler alert, Cary Elwes is not
in Jigsaw at all.
And he's not like
because we just recently watched that one because we hadn't seen it, and plus that one just came out last year. This last Halloween.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Recently,
I've lost all sense of
time, space, and eternity.
Reality and utilities.
I said eternity.
Oh, so
Jigsaw.
So
basically, it's another 5 people. What did you call it? The 5-person.
Oh, it's like a test. Yeah. It's Edgar Munson's test.
Okay.
That's what it's... Or, no. It's called the Murderer's Trial. Edgar Munson...
Yeah, they're all murderers.
I don't know.
They have all killed someone by just being, like, selfish as fuck.
Yeah. This one got a 35.
What?
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Alright.
Had a budget of $10 million, but it only made... like
16
$17 million.
Wow,
basically.
it did not do well.
What I remember the most from these, I saw the preview or like taglines from this is he's everyone, he's everywhere, he's everything, and I was like, wait, am I Jigsaw? Has Jigsaw?
It's like he's a dude, she's a
Jigsaw, she's a Jigsaw. That's 2 episodes.
Because we're all Jigsaws. Hey,
but like. Am I Jigsaw? Has the Jigsaw been inside me the whole time?
If this movie is telling you that, then yes, you have been.
Yep. So then there's, the Murderer's Trial. There's the bucket room where everyone's got a bucket on their head.
But then at the same time, there are, like, people's bodies being left.
Yeah.
And, like...
Owie. Then there's chain
and, like,
hangers.
there's cops trying to figure things out, and then there's the guy who is the mortician?
Yeah, he's like the mortician of the town. And
or is he a mortician, or is he a...
No, he's the county coroner.
Coroner.
He's the coroner.
Could not think of that name.
Yeah.
And so, it's like him and then his, like, weird coroner assistant who's, like, really fucking wet for Jigsaw. She's basically, like, an Us type.
Oh, yeah, she's like a true crime nerd because she's, like, collected.
Super into Jigsaw to the point where, not even collected, but, like, made her own Jigsaw traps.
Yeah, which is weird.
And so she uses that one really big one.
Yeah, it's like a tube.
It's like I still don't understand how it works.
It's like a magic bullet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really weird. I'm sorry.
Weird.
We're
coming to the end of this, you guys.
We're like getting
just as much as like it just gets hard to watch the rest of these movies. It kind of gets hard talking about it.
And you know what? I bet it's getting hard to listen to us.
Oh my god! Which is going to therefore be hard to
continue this podcast. Are we done now?
No.
So there's also leg wires. I honestly don't remember.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
The grain silo trap, that was creepy.
Well, it was only crazy because first it was just like people in a silo and you thought they were gonna like suffocate to death because all this grain is pouring down, and then all these like razors and knives and like sharp shit just start falling and they can't move because they're like in all this grain.
And this movie, they're like in a barn situation.
Yeah.
And this is the only movie where like
it's daytime.
It kind of is like daytime and they're outside and it's
not
green.
Able to get out.
Like, why wouldn't you just you know what the walls are made of?
Wood.
Where you are? Wood.
Yeah.
Bust through fucking wood.
But then the one person does get out and the pig guy's right there, so...
Yucky you. AKA. So anyways, spoiler
Jigsaw's
alert. So spoiler alert, it was the coroner the whole time because he was actually part of the very first test and then he wanted to do it. He became like really good homies with John when John goes and lives on a farm. That's never explained.
Fuck?
I don't fucking know. So this is kind of like a different, like, it's just like...
so the coroner is also the guy, because before he was a coroner, he was a nurse, and he's the guy who accidentally messed up John's charts, which said that he had like a clean bill of health, so John didn't realize that he had cancer until too late when he like, even though it wasn't too late because he kept living... But basically, like, this guy messed up his chart so that John didn't think he had cancer. So then by the time when they did catch the cancer, it was so progressed that he wasn't able to do anything about it, even though he fucking... I mean...
He's so weak in the second one. Donnie Wahlberg has to, like, feed him.
Yeah.
Like, he gives him, like, water, like in the movie Brian Song.
Yeah, and he's, like, slurping it, like...
I fucking... Oh, stop. You sound so gross. So, another thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of people say that Jigsaw isn't actually a killer because he doesn't technically kill anyone, but he could still be charged with second-degree murder because in New York, which was where we think that these movies take place...
Yeah, they never, like, for sure say it, but it seems like...
It seems New York-y, but
it's
also...
just like an anonymous, like... Anywhere USA kind of town.
Yeah, but a lot of the same states also have the statute that allow someone to be charged with murder even if they didn't intend to kill someone. Normally, if someone's reckless actions unintentionally result in someone's death, they're charged with involuntary manslaughter. But when someone's actions are beyond reckless and they do something that puts another person in a situation where their death is likely and they are doing what's known as showing a depraved indifference to human life by putting them in a situation where they will eventually die. So Jigsaw would have been charged with multiple counts of second-degree murder, so he would have been jailed forever. But yeah, I mean, like, they didn't have the forethought in the first movie. Yeah. So that's why, like... And I mean, it's like any movies. In the Harry Potter movies, like, the first two, they're wearing cloaks, and the second one, Hermione's wearing, like, a fucking hoodie. It's like, whatever.
Not just the movies, though. But I guess these are all just movies.
Because they are... Are they movies? No, wait. I'm Jigsaw.
Movies?
Is this Jigsaw? Is our podcast Jigsaw?
Right, if everything is Jigsaw,
this computer
Jigsaw
is Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
You're Jigsaw. I'm Jigsaw.
We're
My bed is Jigsaw. So that is
Tuesday's Jigsaw.
Also, so another thing we were gonna do was like come up with our own like saw traps.
Oh yeah,
you mentioned that one that they
it?
talk about in the like on the DVD commentary. It's like a waffle iron thing.
Oh, it's like a really beautiful girl, and she has to waffle iron her face.
Yeah, I came up with one. It's like a girl who's like in her 20s. She's in a PETA or PETA-like organization, and she's really like
passionate.
Well, she's very passionate about it, but she's also very like has a very strong media presence, like huge on Instagram and all that bullshit. And she even has like her own line of animal cruelty-free makeup and like posts so much shit on Instagram and all that shit. But when no one's looking, like, she eats at fast food restaurants.
Ew.
She doesn't even wear her own makeup line. And so she, like, wakes up in a tiny little crate she can barely fit in, like how they do with animals. And she has to put all of this, like, cream on her face that, like, they, like, use and test on animals. And it'll disfigure her for the rest of her life, but she'll finally... I mean, they use acid all the time in these movies. Yeah. This isn't that weird. But she has to put it, like, all over her face. Otherwise, like, she's gonna be killed. Like, she's gonna go back in a little box and, like, get, like, poked, like, with electric. Or no, the floor will just electrify, because that's how they actually kill chickens. They put them in...
Fucked up.
Yeah. So that was...
We met some really nice chickens on vacation.
We met really nice animals.
They were fun. We hung out with some horses and some pigs, which the pigs made me... sad about the Saw movies.
Yeah, true.
The pig. There was only one pig there.
There's just
cool.
the pig.
He was chilling.
So I also found this really cool trap. I found this a while ago. And it's someone that posted on 4chan on the B thread. Mm-hmm. And I work with... someone I work with, like, knows 4chan. And I went into their office and I was like... Is B-Thread the bad one? And they're like, yeah, that's random, don't go there. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to. I'm like, I was looking up something, and it was originally posted on 4chan, and I was wondering if I should go there or not. And now that you have said no, I am not going to go there.
You didn't?
No, I mean, I went to, like, this is the crudely drawn picture. So basically, it is... a trap that works like this. A naked victim is placed in a room with a sandpaper conveyor belt for the floor. The floor moves at an average pace, but the person has to keep walking and walking to avoid being scraped. So, like, they can't sit down or anything.
Yeah.
Eventually, the person would succumb to exhaustion and pass out, causing them to be pinned against the wall of the room with the sandpaper slowly scraping away their flesh. One person on 4chan commented with a twist, having multiple people in the room, and eventually people would become so tired and out of it they'd willing to do anything to avoid exhaustion, and so they would kill someone and use their body to lay on top of so that they could get some sleep. Yeah. But don't go on 4chan, you guys, like, it's
pretty gross, you guys.
Pretty scary.
People's minds are fucked up.
Yeah, people can come up with some really crazy things.
So that's been the Saw episode.
That's
Hope
been
you
the Saw
liked it.
episode. Also, our 50th episode is coming up next.
Yep. And guess what, you guys?
We're gonna keep it a secret. Should we keep it a secret?
I think we should go a secret.
I think no one's gonna understand what you just said.
Let's keep it a secret.
Let's keep it like a secret.
Let's keep it like a big old secret.
Let's make it the secret and just put it out into the universe.
What do you guys think it's gonna be?
Yeah, call us. The lines are open.
Yeah,
we can
our
take
number
your call.
1-800-BIG-BOOTY-HOES.
All right, yeah. So this has been the Sisters Grimm. Follow us at all our various places.
Hit us up on
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the big boys, and have a pleasant week. And,
we're back from all of our vacations and trips and stuff, and
so hopefully
summer's. I mean, it's not starting to wind down, but it is at the same time.
Back to school shit is
mid-July, dude.
Yeah,
July.
Well, the day that we are taping this is July 15th, and yesterday was the day that Denise and Janice went missing, and also Richard Speck, and Morgan just rolled her eyes so hard at me. So we're gonna go. Love you, bye.